It's coming pretty quick in your career. I mean, your professional debut was only 2 years ago. Do you think ideally it would have happened a little down the road, or you think you're as prepared as you would ever be?
It was one of my plans. Like when I first started, I wanted to fight the world champion and sort of retire before I was 30. So it's in that year's plan, and so yeah. It happens for a reason.
Why retire before 30?
Because I don't want to be fighting and be old.
30 is old now? Oh, shit. That's not good.
Can you talk about how you got into MMA? What is your backstory? I mean, how did you become interested in it? When did you start training it?
I started training, was it 3.5 years ago now? And just because I was always like at home with my girls and just lazy, and then I would have gym memberships but not use them. So I just thought, I need to do something and make goals to get them, and not like fail all the time or sit at home and do nothing, and to show my daughters that you could do anything with hard work.
Did you have any amateur fights, or is your professional career all of your fights?
I had 2 amateur fights and then went to pro.
Are your daughters going to be here?
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah, they're here. They're going to be in the crowd on Thursday?
Were you an athlete like your whole life? Were you athletic, or was this sort of a new thing?
Yeah, it was a new thing. I didn't like running, or I didn't do anything before it.
Really?
I didn't play any sport. So yeah. I was homeschooled, so I didn't have any chance to do sports.
He was asking you a little bit about playing spoiler, and you said that'll make you happy if you kind of ruin the plans. Can you kind of talk about what that feels like, though? I mean, there would be a lot of people disappointed, I think, if you won this fight. Just being honest. Like, there are a lot of people like, damn, we wanted Cyborg to win.
Yeah.
What does that feel like, to know that not only that people don't believe in you, but that they want you to lose? I mean, is it difficult not to think about that?
No, I don't really mind. I don't really know what it'll feel like until it happens. So, yeah, when it happens, then I'll know what it feels like. But I know it's going to be huge and a lot of disappointed people, but she could always work her way back to rousing.
How long have you been watching her fight? Do you remember?
I think probably when I first started, I watched her a couple times, and then more times when I found out I was fighting her. So yeah, not too often.
It's fitting that you were a good debut in Las Vegas. You won the tournament here, so
Sorry we joined a little bit late. I apologize. We probably answered some of the same questions, but I guess just talk about, first of all, I mean, the feeling of being here. This is the biggest Invicta card, I think, as far as terms of attention and being here in Las Vegas. So what is this opportunity and this feeling like for you right now?
Yeah, it's overwhelming and exciting at the same time, and the nerves are kicking in more and more every day. But yeah, it's awesome.
I saw you posting that you're not kind of used to the cameras yet. That's kind of a new experience for you. So you mentioned the nerves there. Has it been difficult, this experience?
Today's probably going to be the worst day with all the cameras. Don't really like being on camera, but it's part of it, I suppose.
It's funny to hear somebody, because obviously this is such a singular sport, I mean, if you win, I mean, there's no team to hide behind or a helmet or anything. I mean, you're there. So is this something that you're trying to embrace, like learning to like this, or do you think it'll ever be something you can like?
I'm normally a shy person, so yeah, I don't know if I'll get to like it, but I will embrace it. Yeah.
What was the feeling when this fight was offered to you? Obviously, her reputation is what it is. When the opportunity came for you, do you jump at it right away? Are you a little bit hesitant and think, let's weigh it out? What was the feeling?
I sort of asked for it after my last fight, and then they said yes, so I was ready for it when I asked for it. Yeah.
Why is it a fight that you wanted?
It's just a goal I had from when I started MMA, that I wanted to be world champion, and Chris is in that way, so.
So it's really just about the belt, not about beating her.
It's about being the best in the world, yeah.
Do you think she is the best in the world?
At the moment.
Some people say it's just sheer power, that her technique isn't really that great. It's just that she's got these physical tools, so she's not necessarily the best in the world. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like she is a refined, technician as well?
Yeah, she has skills and she's got technique and power, but she does have holes, so that's what I'm going to look for. Yeah.
Do you relish being the underdog? Because even in your last fight, you kind of came in, a lot of people were kind of expecting that maybe you weren't going to take the win, and I think you showed them up on that. Is that something that you relish, and especially coming in this, I'd say a lot of people are kind of considering you maybe a heavy underdog. Is that something you enjoy and something that maybe takes a little pressure off from you?
It actually makes more pressure because I am the underdog and I need to prove myself more to the world. But I don't. It doesn't really faze me because I'm always going to be the underdog, being so early in my career. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that into her experience, how do you overcome the fact that knowing she's coming in, she's had 10 years where she hasn't lost? How do you address that experience difference, especially when you're coming into the game, like you said, just somewhat recently?
I just go in it like another fight, but just fighting that person and just going in there to win.
Now, when you see somebody like her that has pretty much all TKOs, no submissions, that's something that you're not even worried about? Has the whole camp been preparing just for, escaping the strikes? I mean, what was your plan going and preparing for it?
Yeah, I've had a lot of sparring with people trying to be like her, or just giving me overwhelming feeling that she does to all the opponents, and then just how to work with that. So I'll show you on Thursday.
I was gonna say, it seems like sometimes people step in, they're intimidated before they get in there. Has that been part of the preparation process as well? Is making sure that when you get in there is no intimidation factor?
Yeah, that's all. Like I was in the beginning thinking what I got myself into, but then I just each and every day I look at her, she just becomes more human. Like she's just human. She's another woman, same weight as me, same size, 2 legs, 2 arms, elbows, knees. Yeah. So.
Were you surprised when you called out for that fight after that, how quickly they gave it to you? Were you a little surprised?
I was surprised, but I was ready. Yeah.
And if you beat her, you're going to have to do a lot more media stuff. Are you willing to take on that role?
I'm willing to. I don't know how good I'll be, but yeah.